Que pasa? What's happening? How y'all doing? Part two. Not really part two, but just going into the second part of what I want to speak on. Breaking it down because I know some people, don't have time to sit for a whole hour or whatever the case may be and watch all of these different videos. So just kind of separating it for you to make it easy for you, maybe on your lunch break or whatever the case may be. You can sit around and watch each part on your first, second, or third lunch break or whatever the case may be, and you can get it all in before the day is out. So very important that you hear the rest of what I'm speaking of. So this next part, I'm going to be talking about the Andromedans. Those that follow my videos know that I got, I guess you could say, kind of like inducted into this thing with these Andromedans, and I'm still in it with them. I guess you could say I'm still, but it's like kind of like by force because of what happened. I'm still, I guess you could say, fighting them now at this point. At first, it was a willing experiment. Let's just say I took part in an experiment with these Andromedans. For those of you that may be new to my videos or didn't watch my videos, you may be wondering, well, who are the Andromedans? What is an Andromedan? Andromeda is a star constellation that has life on it. Um, the life is real, just like here. They exist in a different dimension. Most of them exist in the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth dimension. Past 4D, most of them. They can come down into 4D though, of course, but they exist on a higher dimension. But what's happening with the Andromedans is what they want me to do is that the Andromedans want to control the world again. They're nothing but a bunch of power hungry fucks, if you will. And I'm referring to them like that for a reason. At first, it started with dreams. They start coming to me in dreams, and this is real. Like I'm serious. Like put this on, everything. All of this happened. Like I'm not an actor. I'm not getting paid to say this or anything like that. This is what happened. This is my experience. And the Andromedans brought me onto this shit. And I talked about this on other videos, but I'll give you just a small recap. You have to go back to my other Andromeda videos. They're somewhere on here, so you can watch that if you want to know more. But the Andromedans, they put me onto this little like shit before I started even doing YouTube videos, and I was already in tune with extraterrestrials at the time though. But this is before I actually was publicly doing YouTube videos, and they showed me some things that were going to happen in my life. Some friends that I had at the time that were going to turn on me. I was a part of some group, and they said that this group would kind of like ostracize me. And they showed me this on a television screen. They showed me how the events would play out and everything. It was almost like it was almost pre-recorded, like it had already happened, like it was rigged even. So, I'm watching it, and at this time I'm all fascinated, like, damn, like, so, like, once I come back into my body and in the real world, once these things happen, because they did happen, everything they said was going to happen, happened. Their prophecies were correct, but why were they correct? See, that's what I wasn't questioning at the time. And I'm all, psyched up and shit. I'm all hyped. And I'm like, damn, like, the Andromedans were right, and these extraterrestrials are, man, it's so good to be in tune with a higher type of intelligence that can tell you about things before it happens. So, I'm coming into the matter more like a human. But now, I guess where I'm at now is, and this is where the war started at, is like, I'm an extraterrestrial. You know, at the end of the day, like, you're no different from me. I can't be your man. I can't be your slave. I can't be your husband. Your husband is someone that, a husband, look up the term husband. What is a husband? Husband is a husbandman, one who tills the land, essentially working for other beings or other human beings. I can't be that to you. We can exist together and all of that, but I can't be that to you. And I'm saying that because after the experiment of me getting on the ship and they're showing me things that were going to happen, they were like, you're going to have to work for us. And they had these two big ass, stupid, dumb, big insect looking creatures that had like muscle bound, like ant looking creatures with guns, and they were like standing over me like, this is what you're gonna do, like you're gonna use that mind of yours that we can get so much wealth of information from, and we're gonna employ that mind, and all the resources that you generate from that mind are gonna come back to us. So I'm thinking this was all on some science fiction fairy tale land, but nah, the shit got real. So you know, I hooked up with this beautiful Andromeda, like physically now. This is physical. I didn't know she was Andromeda when it first happened. And, you know, beautiful, beautiful Andromeda or whatever the case may be. And she, you know, she was a good woman, man. Like at the end of the day, like, you know, it was, not gonna lie, it was, you know, it was sexual. And this happened while I was on YouTube. I'm not gonna tell you guys what phase of YouTube I was on. I'll let you figure that out. You know, I made a series of videos about twin flames, and I got a lot of information for being around this female. And you know, they sent her to me and all of this, and I found out later that she was an Andromeda, and it was really more of them trying to make her into my handler, or whether she realized it or not, of which I believe she realized it. I believe she was a part of the higher level of the Andromedan experiment, and she was involved in. Remember, I talked about the same-sex relationships and things of that nature. See, now I'm kind of spilling the beans on what period of time this happened. When I make those videos about the same-sex relationships amongst the Pleiadians and the 7 daughters of the Pleiadians. So you guys, it's a lot of stuff you got to watch. If you haven't watched that video, check it out. But during that time, when I was talking about all of that stuff, that sex stuff or whatever amongst women, that was during the time I was involved in this experiment with her. So really, at the end of the day, they just sent her to me. She works for a higher group of women. They were involved in a sexual relationship, whether it was mental or whatever the case may be. See, there's mental sex that takes place. When minds exchange ideas, there's mental sex taking place. And when you exchange ideas with someone, there's always going to be one that tries to be like the handler or the controller. It's just like sex. So if you start talking about consciousness with a person, it's going to get to a point, or knowledge with a person, it's going to get to a point where there's one person that wants to control the conversation. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like you're talking to somebody about knowledge or information. You may have that conscious friend or whatever the case may be that's like, nah, like this, I'm the author of this, like I have to control the conversation when it comes to this conversation about metaphysics, because I've been studying this longer. I've been, you know, I'm been given these letters and credentials or whatever the case may be. And that's natural, it's human nature. I'm not knocking that. But there's always, in any sexual relationship, there's always a handler. And I'm talking about mental sexual relationship. When minds exchange ideas, this is sex. Sex is the sacred or sacral energy exchange. That's what it is. So I was exchanging ideas with Andromedans. I hooked up with a couple more of them, actually. They just didn't send one. But I didn't know at the time they were not just exchanging energy from me, but they were extracting knowledge and information from me and harvesting this knowledge and information and using it for a whole nother project and a whole nother program. And they got rich. They fucked up this world with this knowledge, y'all. Like, they made millions of dollars. These Andromedans did, off of the inner information associated with 13 signs astrology. They made dumb money, you know, associated with the Starseed movement, even going past this 13 signs astrology. And they made a lot of money, or whatever the case may be, but it wasn't just about that. But they made the money. What makes it interesting is they took my information and used it and applied it to something totally different. And I'm not mad at them for that. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. But what happened was is that I was supposed to eventually be phased out of the project. And me working with these Andromedans, I was supposed to, you know how you watch those movies and the guy joins the CIA and does all these different missions, and then eventually it's like he's going to go on a mission where he's not going to come back. Whether he's going to get whacked or get locked up or whatever the case may be, he's going to get set up by the home office, his handlers. Well, that's what the Andromedans tried to do with me. Like, after they felt like they got to a point where they used me and got what they needed from me, and they were like, okay, now we don't need you anymore. We're going to do away with him, type of thing. So they tried to do away with me, and that's when I went to war with them. And that's what I'm involved in now. And the war it's all mental. It's all mental, but it's like at the end of the day, it's getting pretty ugly. I can tell you that it's definitely getting pretty ugly. I mean, to the point where there's been gunshots involved physically. You know, there's been these women they're very crafty. They use men that they control and use them against me. And some of these men are big authority figures, be they law enforcement mostly law enforcement. They used them against me and things of that nature. And this is because I wasn't supposed to do certain things that I did. Like this point where I'm at in this movement mission, it wasn't supposed to make it this far. And this ties into the last video because, like I said, the world right now, there's many groups behind it, but there's different groups of people that want to quarantine me, or they want to control me or regulate me or tell me what I should and shouldn't do. And I'm speaking more so on the Andromedans right now because this is addressing these women. I can't be your man. You can't tell me how to be. We can exist in a relationship. We can exchange energy all day. And I realize there's always going to be, just like in sex, there's always going to be the dominant one. Even when women have sex, these women are going back to these other women, right? And they're involved in sacral energy exchanges with these other women, or mind sex type of experiments with these other women. But at the end of the day, it's still a handler. There's still the dominatrix, or the woman that's dominating the sexual experience, and then the one that's the passive, just like when men and women have sex. There's usually either the man or the woman is going to be the dominating one. Either the woman is the aggressive one and the man is the passive one, or vice versa. Sometimes the roles may switch depending on how a person feels, whatever the case may be. Sometimes the man is more aggressive. Some women like to be slapped up and all of that type of stuff. Some men like to be handcuffed and held down, all of that type of stuff. But this goes on a mental level. That's where I'm getting at. So there's always going to be the dominant thing. So it's like, I don't mind, like, I guess you could say, submitting on an occasion, but I'm not going to submit my life over to you. That's the message I want to give to the Andromedans. The Andromedans work with not just law enforcement, but they work with the media. If you look at the term Andromedan, you see the term media in it to a certain extent without the I. Andromedans, androids, they work with cell phones and technology, and they extract your soul, essentially, is what they do, and they harvest your soul. Your soul is the very essence of you. This is what makes you who you are, and they use your soul to fuel other projects that they may be working on, even back in their star constellation where they're from. So it's not just like you just sell your soul. See, people always talk about, man, the Illuminati, you got to sell your soul and all of this. That's why I always tell you guys that's like small talk to me, because I can't even talk on that level, because there's more than one Illuminati. Some people, they do sell their soul for money. Other people, they lose their soul. Their soul is stolen from them. Their energy, their inner chi is stolen from them and is used in various other projects. And it can be replenished. You can get it back. But the soul can definitely be stolen and used to harvest different things. Like when you see this picture of Jesus, you see a halo around him with a light. That's his soul. That's the very essence of him. And this can be used, stolen, extracted, used by a person when you're a light being or a light worker at the time. I was a light worker at that time. I'm past the light worker stage now, just to let you guys know. So, oh, you working on the dark side now, huh? You don't even know. I'm past all of that. I'm working on the inner earth side. Let's just say that. I'm on the inner earth side. Well, I'll get into more of what I'm into now, you know, as time progresses and you continue to watch these new set of videos that I'm coming out with. But that's not what I'm speaking of here. But to the media, the Andromedans and all that, I got nothing but love for you, nothing but respect for you. We can exchange ideas and things of that nature, but I can't be your man, though. Like 100%, I can't be it. You know, because I have to stay free. The basis of what I'm into is sovereignty. Free thinkers. You can't hold me to your moral standard. I can't be judged. Only person that could judge me is myself. We are judged by our sins, not for them. Think about that. We are judged by our sins, not for them. So you can't, because I made YouTube videos, you can't judge me. Only I can do that, predicated upon what I put out. The judgment is whatever I experience from it. That's the judgment. But you can't put me up under a moral standard and make me do something because you want to feed off of my energy. I'm breaking free from that, and this is a public announcement. Based on that, I can't be your man, meaning that I can go out with you and we can hang out, but I can't be your man, meaning that you don't have a contract with me. I'm not going to, it's just like when two people are friends. I'm trying to paint a picture here, but when two people are friends, it's like, yeah, they can hang out and have fun together, but then you have these friendships where now it's expected that you call this person every so many days. Or I got friends, I might not call you till next year. You might not call me till next year. That's something that I've learned from different extraterrestrial beings, different things, but this is the level that I'm on now. At the end of the day, I'm ultimately single. We could be in a relationship for a certain time, for a certain ritual, for a certain experiment, but ultimately I have to be single. I was born in this world by myself. I don't have a twin, from what I know of. So I was born in this world by myself, and I'm going to die by myself. I'm going to have to go through the portals and go stand before the council and answer certain questions by myself. Nobody's going to be there with me, so therefore I have to be responsible for myself, and I can't be your man on that level. We can exist in a partnership for periods of time, but I can't be your lifetime partner, meaning that I can be your lifetime partner, like I can know you for life. We can do experiment after experiment for life, but I have to set the pace. If you want to partner with me on this channel and you want to feed off of certain things I'm doing, you have to go with the flow of where I'm at that particular time. I can't do videos when you want me to do them, and not do videos when you don't want me to do them. If I'm not doing videos because I don't want to do them. I can't be your man. I can't do it. So that's kind of like where I'm at with it. It's a lot more to it. As you can see, those Andromedans that are watching this, they know what I'm talking about more so than probably the average listener. But I have to say these things or whatever. But I mean, I love you guys. Some of the most beautiful women, that I've experienced being around or whatever. And like I said, we can always exchange, but everything is free, man. Like everything is free will. Freedom ain't free. Don't get me wrong, freedom ain't free, but everything is free will. So, and at the end of the day, I can't be it. And that's the problem that I have. Some of them, like these Andromedans, they have like, for instance, they have like a democratic type of version of Andromedans, but and then some of them are like Republican type Andromedans and things of that nature. And it's like they say, well, yeah, you playing both sides and all of this and that. Ain't no side. I'm on the occult side. I can't. That's what I mean by I can't be your man. I'm on the occult side. So whatever the occult calls for me to do at a particular time for a particular event, just like when two teams play, right? And when two teams play, when the game is over, you got that team, they still on that team, and then you got this team, they still on that team. But then there's an occult side, kind of like, I guess, like the referees or the business sponsors. That's the side that I'm on. I'm on the occult side. We don't take a side. The occult side is that I may play for your team this particular time, and then on another time, I may play for the team that you just went against or your arch rival. You like, man, that's 720 degrees worth of information. That's what I was taught. That's what I'm on. So I'm on the occult side. And the occult side is to make sure that everything stays balanced. Good ain't good and evil ain't bad. The good side ain't right and the evil side ain't left. Think about that. When I say ain't left, I ain't just meaning the left hand, but ain't left. They ain't going nowhere. And the good side ain't right, meaning that y'all ain't always right either. That's all I'm going to say on that. So think about these words that I'm using. And I have to bring balance to society. You have to allow me that. And that's why they're scared of me. I'm telling you, they're scared of me because they like, what are you going to do? You have to stay on one side, or you're going to be blue or red, or you're going to be blood or crepe. You're going to be with the white people or the black people. You're going to be with the Moors, you're going to be with the Jews. I'm with everybody. But not with everybody, all at the same time. It's all an experiment. Everything that I do is just all an experiment of where I'm at right now. And then when you watch the last video, you'll understand where I'm at right now, where my mindset is at right now. And that's what I'm going to go into in this next video. Is I'm going to talk about cloning. I'm going to talk about the true origins of this planet. I'm going to talk about the mental state, the current mental state, where it was originated from. So stay tuned. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until my next. You enjoy the rest of your day.